If you're looking for some good plus money, look at Dak to win the MVP. Look at that market. There's great value in Dak Prescott to win the MVP because the offense is tremendous. I mean, they have the number one offense in football. They're better than the Colts. They're better than the Rams. They're better than the Lions. They're better than Seattle. They're better than the Patriots. Like, they just have the best offense in football. That was never the question for the Cowboys going into the year. It's all about the offense, all about the defense. Dak Prescott on Thursday games, including Thanksgiving in his career, is 12-6 straight up all time. Like, if you're a Lions fan, you're nervous about tonight. There's no way you're going into this game and you feel good about your team walking out with a win tonight, and you need it, because if you lose this game, the Lions are done. The Cowboys too, for that matter. Okay, the team that wins this game is going to be just outside a playoff berth with a whole month to go. We're going into week 14. Okay, got 4 weeks left of football, and it could come right down to the last game of the regular season for the Cowboys to make the postseason. But given where they were, that's stunning that they're even in the conversation. The Lions going into the year, it was Super Bowl or bust. It was, okay, Ben Johnson and Aaron Glenn are gone, but we got the guys now. We're going to be good. And they looked the part early. And since things have just gone downhill for the Detroit Lions, I mean, these are two teams going in very different directions going into this game. And that's why I like Dallas. I took 3.5 earlier in the week. It's currently 3. I don't think we're going below 2.5. We'll get to Adam Bjorn here in just 1 second. But, like, this is an awesome game. On Thursday night, we bitch all the time about bad football on Thursday night because of the lack of rest. Both these teams have a full week of rest. This is on schedule. So this is Sunday. This is a Sunday game for these two football teams, and they both have to have it. It's on primetime. It's a standalone. Let's see if it delivers. I don't know if it's going to deliver. I hope it delivers, but this is an awesome football game. This is, figure out what you got to do before the game and then, like, sit and watch. Like, don't be distracted. Don't second screen it. This is, we're lucky to have a game of this magnitude with these types of offenses playing in a dome where the Cowboys score and the Lions score. It's the Coors Field of the NFL, as my friend Andrew Erickson of Betting Pros has coined Ford Field. Coors Field of the NFL. Offenses, overs. Cowboys have gone over their team total in 10 of their 12 football games. Their team total was 25.5 last night when I got it. It's currently 26.5. Anything under 27, I like for the Cowboys to score here tonight. Lions probably score too. Over 54.5 isn't a bad play. Just a lot of points. 54.5 points. That's a lot of points. All right, let's find out where in the world's our guy. On a Bet Chris Arizona Thursday, our guy Adam Bjorn, where are you, my friend?
I'm sitting in my home office in Costa Rica, just by the Gulf.
Right. Look at that. I called it. I was like, I think he's going to be in Costa Rica. So we got that right.
Since, what was it, Miami last week. I did 3 days in Jamaica, a couple of days in Fort Worth, Dallas, and then just got here, I think yesterday or the day before. So
you think? All right, so I'm going to put the link to the fundraiser that you've started on our Discord channel and in the chat here once we are done. But just how are things going? What was Jamaica like? What did the island look like?
So the city, Kingston, and that unscathed. The poor side of the island really got beat up strong. When I stood on my balcony, which is right 10 minutes from Montego Bay Airport, I could just see blue tarpaulins as far as the eye would reach, with obviously people losing roofs, leaking roofs, all these kind of things. My wife went out and with some of her friends and fed about 100, 150 people on the Sunday.
Wow.
They were all severely, compromised with their minds when they got home and after all that. So there's a big portion of the island that's just, been cleaned out, wiped out. Montego Bay's gotten hit fairly hard, but Kingston's, unscathed and whatnot. And I had sort of looked at it and thought, the poor people getting hammered like that. And then someone sort of mentioned, well, imagine if Kingston gets wiped out, there's the whole economy kind of destroyed. So, there's kind of that balance of, who pays for it and who can sort of bring it back kind of thing. So it was a bit of a challenge, but yeah, it's definitely it's a long journey ahead. This is going to take years ultimately to fix these things. A lot of the hotels have already said not back until December 2026. Some have shut down, called it a day. So yeah, it's different when it hits home versus, a Haiti, a DR, Tampa Bay, stuff like that.
Because it's an island, how difficult is it going to be to get materials to Jamaica to do the rebuild? It's not like, once Home Depot gets wiped out for their materials, you can't just go and restock it, the next state over, go and grab it and bring it over. How difficult will it be to get materials?
Well, that's the challenge and the cost of things. Jesus, I went into a supermarket. Cost of things are just going through. Things were going through the roof anyway. Now it's just, near impossible. Building materials, again, a lot of that's in Kingston, but Montego Port, which is a huge port, took weeks and weeks to open up again and has a huge backlog. The stuff I sent from Miami, again, hopefully it'll be before Christmas, but it could be into the new year. It's just going to take a long, long time and a lot of money to ultimately, start rebuilding some of these towns that just, they may never rebuild again.
Unbelievable. Yeah. So I'll put the link into the Adams fundraiser in the chat after we're done here, and also on our Discord channel, thebvbshow.com. All right. Thursday night, it's the Dallas Cowboys. It was going to be a big handle game anyway, but you got Detroit, another big handle game, another big handle team here. What's the action looking like for tonight? How interested are the gamblers on Thursday Night Football?
So if only you could see the ticker in the chart in the last 23 minutes, because my note says very low volume for this time of the week on a Thursday night game. It was 56% Detroit, 57% master action was Dallas. In that 23 minutes, I've had multiple six-figure bets on Detroit. It's now 68% of the money's on Detroit, 90% of the master money's on Detroit. It's almost doubled volume in the last 23 minutes of what I was looking at. So it seems like they're starting to roll in. I don't know if there's information or news or something out there, but the money coming in Detroit now is almost like Prescott's taking a day off or something. Now, the line hasn't moved or anything. It's purely money, but it's just come in real hard. Just, again, literally as I'm writing my notes, getting ready for this, Detroit money started flowing in.
Do you think you'll go back to 3.5?
They didn't off those bets, so I imagine I'll hold on.
Okay.
But correct me. It's now 3 minus 25, which is getting very close to 3.5. So there is a very good chance that it'll get to 3.5 pick 'em by the end of the day if it keeps flowing like this.
Oh, that's going to be fascinating if it gets back to 3.5 after all the money that drove this thing down to 3. So you'll need the Cowboys. I'm hearing you correctly. You're going to need the Cowboys tonight?
Yeah, right now need the Cowboys. When I first looked at this, the number 3, I thought, it felt a little light. Go back a couple of weeks, this could have been 6.5. Like, it could have, just different game where it's at. And to note your comment before I jumped on here, the total, 72% of the money on the over, 78% of the master money on the over. So we're going to need the over there as well.
That, I think you might be in trouble. I'm not sure that you just can't set that number high enough at Coors Field with these offenses. I mean, with the defensive changes for Dallas, it still seems like the Lions are going to score here today. So that's why I took the team total for the Cowboys over 25.5. I think that they'll score. I think the Lions team total probably is a good bet as well coming up with that. Do you guys get much same game teaser action? Because I've seen that for the first time with some people that I respect saying you could tease the Cowboys up to 9 and then take the total down to 48.5. Anyone doing that?
You get that occasionally. Usually it's the other way. They do the two dogs, the dog and over and what. But I did notice there was a little bit of that alternate sort of play here.
Yeah, it seems like it would be a way of approaching this game between Dallas And all right, so I'm good. I'm on the Cowboys at +3.5. So I'm glad to see you guys. I'm on your side. I need the Cowboys tonight here for this. So I like that. Okay, the other games. Let's get to Steelers and the Ravens. The numbers are ridiculous. You just bet the dog in this. It's 23-5-1 when this number gets over 3 between these two teams. And Mike Tomlin and John Harbaugh, it's an auto fire on the dog, no matter what the number is between these two guys. Anyone taking the Ravens, or is this all Steeler money that you're seeing?
It's actually very well balanced overall. However, 81% of the master money is on the Ravens, generally at 5 and 5.5. I did see it went to 6. It seems like the line's back at 5.5 right now. So there was a tickle of that once it got to the 6 to come back the other way.
Did you say tickle? Are you listening to Andy Reid? You're listening to Andy Reid press conferences here. We're going to tickle our tonsils watching the Chiefs this weekend. A tickle on that. I love it. All right. The Colts and the Jaguars is a wild trend betting game for me. I know it's probably not the biggest handle game, but Indy is 3-16-1 since 2015 against the Jaguars. They can't cover these guys, and they're 2-point road favorites against the Jaguars. I love Jacksonville this week. What are you seeing from an action standpoint?
Well, you were correct on the low volume. However, we're looking at 67% of the money's on the Colts, 100% of the master money. That was at 1.5. It did pop up to 2. It looks like it's just gone back to 1.5. So, it doesn't look like it's going anywhere beyond that right now.
All right. Whenever I put games like this up, I always expect big handle. And you always say, no. Bears Packers. Are we seeing big handle on Bears Packers or no?
Second biggest game of the week so far.
Okay.
Where was I? Right. So it's like 53% of the money on the Bears, 67% of the money, master money's on the Packers. But what I did notice on this is the Packer money is at -4, -5.5 with people laying a price. And then on the flip side, it's +7 Chicago, people laying a price. So there wasn't a lot at the actual 6, 6.5. It seemed like people were either buying up or buying down to get on this game.
Matt LaFleur in December at home is 20-4 straight up at Lambeau Field. How much money line action are you seeing? People betting the money line?
Actually, there is pretty decent money line action here. Looking at 82% of the money line money's on the Packers, and 62% of the master money on the money line there for the Packers.
Yeah, Bears cover, Packers win. That's how I kind of see that game. 6.5 is a big number for a big rivalry game, but let's see what Caleb Williams can do on the road at Lambeau Field, given all the love that the Packers or the Bears have been getting. Here in Vegas, this is a personal ask. Nobody else cares about this game but me. But I'm curious, just because the number at 7.5, I'm just curious. Anybody willing to take the hook with the Raiders as a home dog divisionally in December?
So looking at 67% of the money overall on Denver. However, 100% of the master money is on the Raiders, but it's at 9, 8.5, and 8.
Okay.
But a note on this game, of that Denver money that we have, 90+% of it is teaser money.
Oh.
So no one's necessarily trusting the Broncos to cover this line. It's all teaser money that's just piled up on that side of the chart.
Yeah, it's a teaser special. It's a Geno Smith throwing interception special. It's just the Raiders are a mess. Bronco fans are going to come here too. It's going to be a lot of Bronco orange in that building coming up on Sunday when these teams go at it here in Vegas. Bengals and the Bills. If the Bears Packers is number 2, is this number 1? How's the action on this game?
No, it's not. It's mid-pack. 67% of the money on the Bengals, 71% of the master money on the Bengals there. Bunch of it at sort of 6, 6.5 on the Bengals, but it looks like pretty solid 5.5 right now.
Okay, we're ripping through games because there's so many to talk about here, and the college games are going to be really good as well. Finally, Texans and the Chiefs on Sunday Night Football. Texans have lost 5 straight games to Kansas City, but Patrick Mahomes has been brutal against the number for the last year. Who is getting bet in this one, Chiefs or Texans?
78% of the money's on the Chiefs. The master money's well balanced. It's like -3, +3.5 action on the master chart. But it's a mid-pack one. The biggest game of the week's bet so far was actually Vikings Commanders.
Wow.
And this kind of ran. I mean, when I see a chart like this, when it's 82% of the money, Vikings, 61% of the master money, it feels like it's a runner. And open +1, went to +2, and then now -2, the Vikings. So, this one sort of was manufactured from a number that everyone sort of seemingly thought was the wrong number, wrong favorite, and it's ran on the other side.
At kickoff, who are you going to need in that game?
Looks like Commanders easily right now.
And that's assuming that Jaden Daniels is not playing? Because I'm guessing that's why it ran. That's why it ran to the Vikings, right?
Yeah, I assume that's why it ran. So I guess it could, go back a little bit, but it's just one-way action right now.
All right, let's get to the college games because this is one of the weekends. We actually have a gigantic college weekend. I'm wearing the UNLV hat. I teach at UNLV, so I'm biased on this, but I am curious because I do think people are going to bet this. Boise State won the first matchup by like 100. They killed them. Boise State has dominated UNLV so far here in the Mountain West Conference Championship game when they've faced off over the last 3 years. This number is 4.5, though. It seems a little light for me with Boise. What's the action on the Mountain West Conference Championship game?
So it's low to mid volume, but it's 100% balanced by the Recs and by the pros. Seeing a lot of -3.5, -4. And then oddly enough, I did see a pretty sharp player come back at +4.5. So I was actually surprised that number had gotten to 5 because it looks like there's pretty solid money at the -4, +4.5 from the Masters.
All right. Hey, UNLV, let's keep it close. Let's see what happens. I don't feel great about their chances, but it'll be fun. It's Boise in the rain and the cold. It's going to be 40 degrees and raining at kickoff for that game. So I will be gladly watching on my television set and not sitting in that freezing cold temperatures in Boise, Idaho in December. It won't be freezing cold in Jerry's world when BYU plays Texas Tech, but for a championship game to have a number of 13, I took BYU already. It feels like you guys are begging us to take BYU. Who's betting the Cougars? Anybody?
Yeah, most people. It's actually 66% of the money's on BYU, 94% of the master money. They snapped up the 13.5. They snapped up the 13. It looks pretty solid at 12.5 right now.
How about that? I like it. I thought we would see some Texas Tech pro money coming in with, playing in Texas. But again, BYU needs it a lot more than Texas Tech does. So I think that's why I'm taking the BYU plus the points. Georgia and Alabama is the SEC championship game. Alabama and Georgia both are in the playoffs. So it just is, this is a pride in a seeding type of game. But Georgia already lost to Bama this year, and Kirby Smart cannot beat Alabama to save his life. Who's getting bet in the SEC championship game?
So 58% of the money's on Bama, 50-50 on the master chart. Bit of -1.5, and then at the 2.5, it's getting back and forth action there. Looks like they've found the number that they're happy with to play both sides.
Do you have any liability, from a national championship perspective on Alabama or Georgia? Does it matter to you in terms of, because if Bama wins this game, Georgia's seeding is going to be affected, and they may have a more difficult run to win it all?
Little bit on Bama, not so much on Georgia. But yeah, then neither of those are the worst of them.
Okay. And then finally, the Big Ten, Indiana and Ohio State. This is a huge game for just pride. Both these teams are going to be the 1 or the 2 seed coming up for the bracket for the college football playoffs. But Indiana would love to beat Ohio State here in this game. What are we seeing? Ohio State money or Indiana money coming in?
So this is almost balanced to the dollar, and not a penny from the Masters on this game.
Wow.
But again, numbers been put up. They found the spot. No pros have jumped into it. But the actual big bet game of the week so far is Virginia Duke.
What? The ACC championship game? Why?
Yeah, like 92% of the money's on Virginia, 98% of the master money, open 2.5, ran to 4. From Monday morning, this game went up, and they just been hammering it all over Virginia there.
How about that? So you're going to need Duke. I'm hearing you correctly.
100% going to need Duke. I don't think the way the volume we have on this and the way that it's moved is going to take some serious money the other way for it to be Virginia. So I think this is a lock in from now where we'll need Duke.
All right, ACC title game going to get a ton of action at Betcris Arizona. How about that? I don't want to bring up, a sore subject, but I know you were alive for so long during Survivor. What took you out? What game finally took you down?
The Eagles.
Oh.
And I'll say this. I mean, I was watching the score, driving from Kingston to Mulbay. When it was 7-0, even going before the game, the charts said Chicago money line, Chicago money line. On Thursday, when I did my show, I tipped all the underdog money lines and kind of had to sort of say the same thing on Friday with Chicago. I'm at peace with it all. There is no way I would have got through those 2 days unless I'd used teams badly and had to pick an underdog, or I had 20 entries and I thought, all right, let's play around with these things. But I'm 100% at peace. I'm actually 17th in the million, so now I'm going to concentrate on that.
Oh, my.
But, yeah, this one, it is what it is. For those that got through, congrats to them. Good luck in the rest of the season. But I would not have survived no matter what I picked Thursday, Friday.
You're 17th in Circa Millions? Is that what you said?
Yeah, apparently 17th on my number one entry.
How about that? Have you finished in the money in any of the quarter polls yet?
No, I ended up the last one. I went 5-0 the first week of the third quarter. I think 4-1 the second week, and then dropped a couple, and I was half a game, I think, out of the money.
Oh my goodness gracious! Yeah, like 18 people split it was like $900 was the payout.
Yeah, so by this time of year, I'm just dead dropping my millions to my proxy, almost telling the proxy, like, just pick this kid. And yeah, I actually looked at it a few weeks ago and I thought, I'm actually thereabouts with the first entry, and then second entry is not far out of what the money will be. And so yeah, now, all right, Survivor done, onto the millions, and I think I'm 4 behind or 4.5 behind the leader or something. So
wow. So we do this every week, and we talk about what you guys are seeing from Betcris Arizona. So this is a Betcris conversation. You do a personal live stream that tell the folks, because I hear you've been giving away like cars type of information. Like people are banking or like backing up Brinks trucks to make your plays. How hot are you on the plays you're giving out?
So on the Saturday night show that we did with the contest proxy, I think we're like 9-4 after starting maybe 0-2.
Okay.
Sunday, week and a half ago, I went 4-0 on the Sunday, 3-0 money line Thursday. Kind of itched that, looked like Chicago was the play Friday. And then I think Sunday went 3-1. I know I won the 2 early games and the late games. I think I might have went 1-1. But yeah, it's been on a pretty much of a run lately, and it's actually been a pretty good season overall. And I think even towards March Madness and NBA when I started doing these things. So generally, I've been doing the Saturday night with Scott, trying to do Saturday mornings, sometimes Sunday mornings, before the standalone games. And just sort of, reading the charts and seeing what it looks like. And sometimes there's those data plays where recreational are heavy on one side, pros are on the other side. And it's just sort of, some of them are leaping out, and it's, been a pretty hot run.
That's all off of your own personal Twitter account, right? At Adam Bjorn 2?
Yeah, generally that's where I've jumped on. I think it goes onto my YouTube and my Twitch and whatnot. And then kind of part of the other thing that I've been doing, and now tried to put this Jamaican stuff and that into the store link, and that is, a lot of people ask me, can we do private calls? How about going for dinner and stuff like that? So I'm starting to sort of push out into that space of some kind of personal brand and sort of, try and educate, help, do whatever I can to make people better betters, and lose less is the first step.
Yeah, amen to that, right? Forget winning, try to lose less. I love that that mantra. So if folks DM you on Twitter, is that the way they can contact you if they're interested in doing that?
Yeah, generally I've been taking lots of DMs, answer calls when I can. Now I'm putting it into this It was actually with Gary V. He's partnered with his Stan store. We did a 12-week challenge. I'm late to the party. It's like week 12 and I'm just starting up. But it's just, trying to put some stuff out there, make myself more, I guess, disciplined and committed to providing. Because when there's expectations on me, I show up more. When there's no expectations on me, I can disappear for weeks. So, it's kind of just putting these things in front of me that, okay, I know where I have to be when I have to do it, and just try and, again, educating everybody. And hopefully with what we're doing with Prime and potentially what looks like purchasing that, wouldn't mind doing a rebrand potentially in the new year with something I've sort of had in the drawer for a long time. The World Cup year next year, it's like 2026 or bust is what I'm looking at.
It's tremendous. Gary V, there's very few people on the internet that I stop when I'm scrolling. Whenever he puts out, I'll stop and listen to. His energy it speaks to my soul. Like I don't know. Some people just grab me, and some people, David Goggins is another one, but Gary V, whatever he does, I listen to. So that's really cool to hear you guys have linked up, because he's tremendous.
Yeah, so I ended up, I've been his ecosystem. I actually got one of his NFTs that meant I could go to all his conferences and speeches, get green room access.
Oh,
biggest thing about him is everything that you see online is genuine, because he's the same person behind the scenes when no one's looking.
Good.
Which ultimately led me into being an investor in Vayner Sports. So now I'm an investor in a sports agency, which then gives, the players that we have, Aiden Hutchinson and a bunch of baseballers, Source Gardner, things like that. So it's really been an eye-opening thing, and credit to him. He's definitely made me kinder, more empathy, and definitely looking at things with more gratitude. So I'm a believer.
Yeah, I am too. I'm different people on the internet have made their own marks by creating certain brands that make you think that it's real and it's not. But knowing that guy's history and seeing him, I was lucky enough here in Vegas to hear him speak once. If you don't walk out of his speeches feeling like you want to go tackle the world, you're just not listening, because he gives you such great information. And for someone on the internet like I am, as much as I am, he gives such incredible information to young people about what the internet is going to be, not what it is, but what it's going to be in the future. And that's ultimately where I think all of us have to live. Like, where are we going, not where we are, right?
That's it.
Adam, thank you for the time, my friend. We'll talk to you next week. Best of luck this week. It should be a fun week in the NFL.
All right, cheers. Good luck, man.
Adam Bjorn joining us each and every single Thursday for Where in the World Will Adam Bjorn Be on a Bet Chris Thursday. Great to get him on the show. And that was an unthought. I didn't know we were going to go ahead and give Gary V a bunch of love, but that's awesome. I did not know that he was that involved with Gary V. If you guys don't know who Gary V is, 100% go and check out Gary V and what he does. I'm a motivational guy in terms of a motivational speaker guy. I love people that teach you something that will make you a better human being. And Gary V is often talking about ways of giving back and gratitude and being thankful, but also how to navigate the current world. Don't stand still. Look at all the things that are happening. He was on the forefront of a lot of the things with Instagram and TikTok and Facebook and Meta and all those things. He was a leader in the space there. And now he's looking ahead to other things that are happening on the internet. Things that are happening, in other countries that can be brought to America. That can be very profitable in America. It's all very cool stuff. Check it out for sure. Thanks to Adam for coming on. Great to get him on the program. Some interesting stuff in that conversation about where the pros are betting, by the way. That's everybody betting on Virginia feels like the move. I don't know how you bet Duke. Betting Duke in the ACC championship game, you got bigger cojones than I do to go ahead and bet them. Let's talk about what happened last night. So not because I have tried to ignore the NBA, but we really haven't talked much about the NBA. And there were a couple things that happened last night that I want to point out, starting with what Jamal Murray did last night for the Nuggets. I mean, he went absolutely nuclear last night for the Nuggets. He scored 52 points. He went 10 for 11 from three, 19 of 25 from the floor. The Nuggets win the game over the Pacers, and he goes for 52. It's the third player for the Nuggets this season to score 50 or more points. That is the earliest in NBA history, just through 21 games, where we've seen 3 teammates all score 50 or more points for a team here through 21 games. Gordon and Jokic did that as well, scoring 50 for the Nuggets. This is a big start to the year for Denver. And look, Jokic is the best player on the planet. When you have Murray and Gordon, who's hurt at the moment, but you have players like that around him playing at elite levels and having really good seasons, man, Denver's a tough out. That is a tough team to stop. Tough team to get in front of. Cooper Flagg joined LeBron James last night. I was on Cooper Flagg, points, rebounds, and assists over last night. That came in, that hit. Youngest player in NBA history with 3 straight 20-point games at 18 years old or younger. I feel for Cooper Flagg a little bit because he's going to be tied to whatever happens with the Lakers and whatever happens with Luka Doncic and the fact that Nico's been fired, Nico Harrison getting tossed, who obviously orchestrated the trade and then drafted Cooper Flagg. Like there are such unfair expectations on this kid. But so far, if you're looking at his rookie campaign, yeah, there's been bad games. And yes, there's been issues just with toughness and where he has been and night in and night out, how consistency has been a little bit of an issue for Cooper Flagg. But right now, he's hot. Right now, he's playing at a very high level, and you see why he was the first pick in the draft. And if you're Dallas, you're like, okay, this is why we got this kid. This is why this kid is capable of doing what he's doing. And let's see what direction the season goes here for a Maverick team that is a little bit in flux as to what direction they're going to go. But they're going to get Kyrie Irving back. Okay. They're going to get Kyrie Irving back at some point. And you've got talent. Okay. You got AD, Kyrie, and Cooper Flagg. Like if all 3 of those guys are there and good to go for the playoffs, okay, like sign me up. Like, let's go. It would be fun to see if that happens. Eric, what are you saying? The Mavericks trade AD back to LA. Braun goes to Dallas, mentors Cooper. Likely not happening, but again, Luka was traded. I mean, I think Dallas would sign up for that tomorrow. Why are the Lakers doing that? I mean, why? I've seen this narrative a lot. People saying LeBron's not enjoying playing with Luka because he's not the alpha male anymore. I mean, maybe. I mean, I don't know. Maybe. I think trading, it would be difficult, I think, to tell a Maverick fan that, like, look, you got Cooper Flagg who's playing really well. AD's going to come back and you're going to get Kyrie Irving back, that you're not going to, in the spring, you're going to be willing to just punt on the whole year and trade everybody away. Like, why? Keep everybody together. Go and see what you can do. Like, it's all about the playoffs anyway. So you're spending the regular season getting Cooper Flagg ready to go, getting him healthy, and then, or getting him, experienced and seasoned, and then you get healthy and then see what happens. So I'm interested in the Mavericks. I'm interested to see what happens. I mean, Cooper, again, he is developing, and that is huge. He is starting to show. He's 18 years old. He's a kid playing against men, but he's starting to get some confidence, which is pretty cool. It's pretty cool to see. And then finally, after trade rumors around Giannis, it came out yesterday that Giannis had said preseason that he wanted to be traded. And then before the game, it leaks out last night that Giannis is exploring, the team and Giannis are exploring trading Antetokounmpo. And everybody in the East, Knicks, Celtics, everybody, like, what? Wait, every fan base is like, hold on, we'll take him. How? What would it take? I mean, the argument that I have heard that makes the most sense, which is horrifying and strikingly scary if it happens, the only team that has all the assets that could trade for Giannis and make and not injure their future is OKC, who currently have 1 loss on the season. Could you imagine Giannis on that team? Now, I'm not sure who they'd be willing to give up, but the number of young talent under control that the Thunder currently have that would be a good fit for the Bucks, plus all of the draft picks that OKC has with Sam Presti, I it would be unbelievable to see Giannis there. So then Giannis gets hurt during the game. After the trade talks, after they open up the conversation, Giannis gets hurt. Really? He gets hurt. He goes out and they rally from down 18 to beat the Bucks. Rincon said they just labeled Giannis out 2 to 4 weeks with a calf strain. And yes, I've seen this too, Eric. Adam Silver's not going to let Giannis go to the West. I mean, in reality, I don't want him in the West either. I want him in the East because there's so many stars in the West. The East needs stars. But we heard about the Spurs, and I saw Eric in the chat talking about the Spurs. Yeah, I mean, the Spurs wanted him before, right? That was in the preseason. It was common. But what are you doing? You're keeping Castle and you're keeping Wembanyama, obviously, to pair him up with Antetokounmpo. But what are you going to do? What are you giving up? Castle? You're going to have to give up Castle. Are you comfortable doing that? Because you got 2 front court players, and now where's your backcourt, right? That's what makes Castle so effective, is he's a backcourt player who can drive to the basket. So I don't know how, that's tough. Yeah, okay. So you offer De'Aaron Fox. Do you want De'Aaron Fox? If you're Milwaukee, remember, this is Milwaukee, right? You need superstars. You need, guys who can develop into dominant players in the Eastern Conference. De'Aaron Fox is at the end of his career. Castle's the guy you want. Okay. He would be the linchpin of this. Of any trade, it would be him, reigning rookie of the year. So that makes a lot of sense if you do that. Knick fans are dreaming. Celtics fans are dreaming. I don't think they would trade, Giannis to see him that much. That's why him going to the West makes more sense. But yeah, I think the league would be pretty angry if Giannis went to the West, but it makes more sense. Giannis to the Lakers. Okay. Like maybe, but again, what are the Lakers going to give to the Bucks that's going to make them feel like it's a trade? They can trade a generational superstar, NBA MVP, championship winning player. Like Giannis wanting to leave Milwaukee is not a surprise. It should have happened probably last year or in this offseason. It should have happened. So him wanting to leave is not stunning. But the bigger question, Reeves and some picks? Are you serious? Come on. Regardless of whether or not there's going to be some level of salary relief that's going to come down for Giannis being traded, no, that's not enough for Antetokounmpo. So, Rui, come on. Right. Brawny, sure. No. AR-15, Brawny and Braun? No. It's not enough, guys. That's not nearly enough. Again, the Spurs make a lot of sense to me. They've got Castle to be this, the center of that trade package, or OKC. I mean, OKC, the team that has the most firepower in any trade potential for a superstar, is the reigning champ. They've got the picks and they've got the players to go out and trade for whomever they want. The question is, do they want Antetokounmpo? Does he fit in what they do? I don't know, because he's a guy that can drive and get to the basket. They've got players who can do that. And are you going to take the ball out of SGA's hands at the moment? Because SGA is right now the MVP in the league, and he is unstoppable. Like unstoppable. So I'd be very curious to see what type of package OKC would be willing to give up. And then what could a Antetokounmpo on the Thunder player look like? Clearly, he's one of the top 10 best players in the game. So you would take him. You would have 2 top 10 players on the same roster. It would be ridiculous. The Thunder would be they'd be the new team to hate. They'd be the new team that every NBA team, every fan base not named the Thunder would hate if that trade would go down. I'm with you. No trading of Jay Will or Chet. I think Chet would have to be part of it. I think Holmgren would have to be part. I think if Castle's going to be if in my scenario, Castle is the centerpiece of the trade for the Spurs, I think you would need to put Chet. Jay Will, you're not going to trade him. You need him on the backcourt because he's such a great complementary player to SGA. So you're not going to trade him. But I think Holmgren would be somebody. He's injury prone, right? Like Giannis is. He's injury prone. They're both long and lanky guys. I think Chet could play in a very similar way that Giannis does, and he just signed that deal, so he's controlled. So if I'm the Bucks, it's Holmgren and a litany of first round picks. 2 or 3 first round picks for Giannis. It would be crazy. Giannis on the Knicks, maybe. I don't think Giannis on the Celtics, it would be unbelievable. Okay. But what is Boston? Sorry, we froze. There's the first freeze of the day. People were speculating about this on Twitter, on Celtics Twitter last night. They were saying, what would Boston have to give up? I am not trading, even for Giannis Antetokounmpo. Okay. I am not trading Derek White. I'm not trading Derek White. Call me crazy. Not trading Derek White. I'm just not. He is the perfect player on that roster with Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown. If you're keeping Tatum and you're keeping Brown in this scenario, and you're putting Giannis Antetokounmpo onto the Celtics, I'm not giving up Derek White. And the Bucks would be insane to take a deal from Boston without Derek White being attached to it. Derek White would have to be, given his contract, his control, his productivity, he would have to be part of it. But I am not giving up Derek White. I am an absolute stan for Derek White. So I'm not touching him. He's untouchable. I would rather trade Jaylen Brown, which I'm not doing either, by the way. But I would rather trade Jaylen Brown than trading Derek White. A Derek White, Jason Tatum, Giannis team would be unbelievable. But, JB is playing out of his mind right now. Jaylen Brown, if you haven't been paying attention, I told you guys, Celtics to go over 41.5 wins, they're going to be an over 500 basketball team this year. They're playing just a little bit above it at the moment. They're going to get Tatum back, and then they're going to be over 500 when Tatum comes back, probably somewhere around Easter. He's already playing pickup basketball, which is insanity for a guy coming off an Achilles injury. But Jaylen Brown right now is, it could be Jaylen Brown in a first round pick. He's playing so well for Giannis. It could be like that. But again, I don't want to trade Jaylen Brown. No way. I'm not trading him. So we'll see how it goes. But the Giannis stuff was pretty wild last night. That he got hurt on the same day that all this rumor mill stuff comes out. The dude gets hurt. Let's make some picks for tonight. It is just the picks being brought to you by the Betting Pros Prop Bet Cheat Sheet. Good night to go and grab the Prop Bet Cheat Sheet. Check out what's going on with that. You guys can go and download the Betting Pros app on wherever you get your apps. Bettingpros.com/props to compare lines, daily projections, EV plays, and more for prop bets for tonight's game between the Lions and the Cowboys. It is a prop-rich environment tonight for the Cowboys and for the Lions. I am on the Cowboys at +3.5. That number has gone back. Professional money all on the Lions. Everybody likes Dan Campbell. Everyone's coming in and betting the trends. If you don't know the trends, here are the trends for Dan Campbell and the Lions. Jared Goff and Dan Campbell are 18-12-1 straight up and 22-9 against the spread off of a loss as a duo. They've won 14 games in a row dating back to November the 1st of 2022. They've gone 13-1 in that spot. The only game they didn't cover was against the Giants 2 weeks ago when they won the game in overtime, but they did not cover. In Jared Goff's career, he's 24-8 against the spread indoors, straight up off a loss, and 14-1 playing outdoors in that position. As a head coach, Dan Campbell is 25-15 ATS off of a loss. They are dominant. I like the Cowboys because of Dak Prescott in prime time. Even if Amon-Ra St. Brown's plays, his ankle injury is significant. He's not going to be effective. The defense is still banged up for the Lions. They're facing the number one offense in the NFL and a defense that has completely and totally changed where they have gone over the last 3 weeks since they traded for Quinnen Williams. This Cowboy team has absolutely been on fire. Here are your numbers. Points allowed, way down. Yards allowed per game, way down. Rush yards allowed, way down. Third down conversion allowed, way down from 52.6 to 35.1. Give me the Cowboys. I've been riding them all year. Give me the Cowboys. I'm taking their team total equally over 25.5. 54.5 is the total. If you want to tease this, take the Cowboys from 3 to 9 and take the total from 54.5 down to 48.5. I don't mind that to make that play as well for tonight, but I like the team total to go over 25.5 for the Dallas Cowboys. Finally, before we let go of the sports grid, folks, let's give it a prop bet. All right, this is from the prop bet cheat sheet, and it's Jahmyr Gibbs to go over 118.5 rushing and receiving yards. He's had some monster games in the last month, going over 200, going over 180 rushing and receiving yards on games. And while the Cowboys have been better against the run, it's the screen game for Gibbs that could be a problem for Dallas tonight. Could be some big plays given up for the Cowboys tonight. I'll take Jahmyr Gibbs to go over 115.5 rushing and receiving yards here tonight for the Lions. So if you like the Lions, you would expect Gibbs to have a big game. It is somewhat correlated. Lions go out and go big. Gibbs has a monster game. Gibbs goes over 118.5 rushing and receiving yards coming up here for tonight. If you guys are watching live, don't move. More to come in bonus time. If you're with us on the replay on Sports Grid, thank you for watching. We're back tomorrow on a Fight Song Friday to get into a big college football, our final Fight Song Friday of the regular season / championship season. We're going to pause it for a little bit as we get to the playoffs in 2 weeks. We still probably would do it in December, though. But our last official full Fight Song Friday happening on tomorrow's show. Hope to see you all back. For the rest of you guys who are with us live, more to come. Don't move. Okay. Gibbs is down to 116. Okay. People like the Dallas defense. That's because of the Dallas defense stopping the run. So I think there's going to be something there. Ross Reynolds asking, if you have a Dallas NFC East winner, I do, would you use this spot to hedge back? How would you hedge back on that? I mean, just bet against the Cowboys here. It wouldn't be a hedge. Like you got to bet what you think. Now you're saying if the Cowboys lose this game, the Cowboys can't win the division. Well, the Cowboys might not be able to win the division anyway. I mean, that bet might be dead anyway. So that could be a problem. So I think if you are looking for a hedge opportunity, this is not the game you would do it from a hedge opportunity. I'm not really sure we can hedge that. I have a 7-1 ticket on the Cowboys to win the East. It's not dead, but it's unlikely that it's going to cash. So I don't think you go with this. You know, I don't think you can do that. If the Cowboys win this game, their schedule is very. It's easier than the Eagles. Let me give it to you real quick so I can tell you about this. Cowboys schedule after tonight, once they face off against the Lions, they play the Vikings and the Chargers at home, at the Commanders and on Christmas Day, and at the Giants. Okay. So let's say they win tonight. That would be their 4th straight win. Dallas would go to 7-5-1. They would beat the Vikings to go, and that's on Sunday Night Football at home, primetime Dallas. Good for Dak. So that would be 8-5. Chargers at home should be a win, 9-5. At the Commanders, we'll see what they look like because they may have shut down Jaden Daniels by then. That could be a win. So that would be 9-5-1. And the Giants on the road in December, January. It's January. Not great. Dallas would play hard, but the Giants would play hard, but I don't believe Dallas loses that game. So Dallas could win out. So if they wind up winning out, they're 10-5-1. Now that's great. No, they'd be 11-5-1, right? Yeah, they'd be 11-5-1 if they were to win out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 games. Yeah. So they'd be 11-5-1 if they would win out. I'm not predicting that. I'm just saying it's possible that they could go ahead and win out. From an Eagles perspective, the Eagles play a huge game this weekend on Monday Night Football at the Chargers on the road. Have to win it Chargers, they're going to play Justin Herbert. He had surgery on his non-throwing hand. They put a plate and screws into his broken left hand. He's playing, amazingly enough. If they lose that game, that's 3 straight losses. They would be 8-5, and the Cowboys would be 7-5-1. But the remaining 4 games for Philadelphia are all winnable. The Raiders at home is an auto win. At the Commanders should be a win. If Jaden Daniels is playing, though, that should be a win. The entire bet might be riding on the Bills game for the Eagles on the road. The hope is that Buffalo would need that game for a playoff berth. So if they were to lose that game and then beat the Commanders at home in the last game of the regular season, well, an 8-5 team now turns into a 12-5 or an 11-6 Eagles team. And you then would see a win. Thank you, Ross. Appreciate you. You would then see a Cowboys ticket cash for us. It's still possible. The Cowboys can still win the division. So you don't need to hedge it, but it's still live. If they win, they have to win. But even if they lose, I mean, depending on how bad things get for the Eagles, remember when the Eagles started 10-1 a couple of years ago and everything fell apart? Again, you can't hedge it, but I'm not saying even if the Cowboys lose tonight, I don't believe the division's completely gone. It's not completely gone. In particular, if Philly loses on Monday, it could snowball and get really bad in Philadelphia. So don't think you got to hedge. Eric, if you're betting the Rodeo National Finals, I need to come talk to you. There is a 1-800 number for you, my friend, if you are betting on the rodeo. Okay? For betting rodeo, yikes on that. that is yikes. There is a news of the industry story that is unbelievable. All right, news of the industry. I've been waiting all the show to talk about this. This is oh my. We're in bonus time, so I can swear. This is so fucked up. This is unbelievable. Like this is so unbelievable. Okay, buckle up. So yesterday, there's a guy on Polymarket, which has launched in America beta, not full, but beta. That they're out there testing this for Polymarket in the US. Some guy yesterday won $1 million on Google search markets on Polymarket. Everyone is accusing this guy of being a Google insider. That this guy's got inside information. What this guy is doing is taking information off his computer screen that is proprietary info that only he or a select number of people have, and he is going and betting this on Polymarket to the tune of $1.19 million in one day. As a user on X commented, a Google insider has officially been exposed on Polymarket. This dude just profited over $1 million in a single day betting on Google search markets. Google, quote, accidentally, thumb on nose, tongue in cheek, accidentally, sure, pushed the results early, then removed them, but not before it was revealed that he went 22 of 23 on his bets and ballooned his bankroll to 3.9 million in open positions. This isn't a lucky streak. He previously made $150,000 plus predicting the early release of Gemini 3.0 before the results were out. At this point, it's obvious he's a Google insider milking Polymarket for quick money. It's one of the wildest things I've seen on the platform. Do you want to know the real fucked up thing about all this? It's not illegal. According to Polymarket's own rules, this is not illegal to have insider trading. You're allowed to do this. I mean, this is wild. Wild. Jeff Edelstein, who's been on the show numerous times from ingame.com. His lead. Can someone be accused of insider trading if there are no insider trading rules they're breaking? That's the question being banted about on social media today after someone profited over $1 million in a single day on Polymarket by wagering on Google search markets. All the markets revolved around questions concerning who would be the person most searched for, in the calendar year 2025, or who would be in the top 5 of searches. Google Insider, as Google, quote, accidentally pushed this out. They made singer-songwriter D4VD as the most searched person on the platform at 5 cents. The user, Alpha Raccoon, has since changed their name and turned a $10,000 wager into nearly $200,000. They also bet against numerous other names, wagering millions of dollars against their names being part of the list. One notable bet was putting $939,000 down on Bianca Censori, Kanye West's wife, not being the number one search name. That bet paid out $1.1 million. The kicker, Polymarket's term of service does not cover this situation. Predictably, as these market predictions go, commentators were split as to whether this is highly illegal, insider trading, terrible, no good, bad behavior, or is this exactly what prediction markets are supposed to be doing, bringing information to the forefront? Do you guys understand now why I've been talking about prediction markets as much as I have been? Because this is market manipulation to a T. This is insider trading to a T. This is somebody who's taking information that nobody else has access to. He works at Google. He knows the damn answers. They're on his desktop. He sees he knows what's going on. And he's just going in like, I mean, one, the liquidity this guy has is bonkers that he's able to put these types of bets down. But this is like betting on a 99% sure thing in football, right? It will burn you only 1% of the time. It can happen. This won't happen. You know the answer. I was going to sneeze. Sorry. You know the answer. This is taking the test with the answers right next to it. It's not illegal. This is not illegal. Roger, I don't know if this is corruption. This is the problem. Like, this is, that guy, excuse me, he possibly killed someone. That's why he changed his name. Okay. Oh, sorry. I keep on opening the Google command. Why? Because I'm saying, hey, Google? Is that why? I'm not an Android guy. Sorry. So I don't know what I'm not intentionally trying to do that to you guys. I apologize. Yeah. Take the money and run 100%. Take the money and run. But they didn't do anything wrong according to the terms of service with Polymarket. So the thing that makes this the most crooked is that Google published its findings closing the market. Okay. So let's play this out slowly. Okay. I know I went kind of fast on that. So a guy who works at Google, allegedly, is looking at the markets on Polymarket for Google searches. You can bet on anything, right? This is what this new world is, right? So we're going to go and we're going to say, okay, so who is going to be the number one most searched person in 2025? So you work at Google and you're going to put out this data because Google puts this, like, you know, the unwrapped, right? That's why everybody did this yesterday. If you're wondering, like, why the fuck did they do this? Because everybody got pushed because of Spotify. Once Spotify did their unwrapped, YouTube did it, Google did it right afterwards. Okay. I got multiple things from both those places. Get your year in review. So because Spotify came out with unwrapped yesterday, they closed the year. Thus, Google closed the year. Thus, my listening age is 49. Sonic, by the way, I'm 48. So I'm right on point. So they got it right. I'm 49. My daughter, though, is 38, which I thought was pretty funny because she's 11. Her listening age is 38. She was like, why does it say I'm 38? So she says she's 38. And that's mostly because she listens to My Chemical Romance more than most people ever should. So that's why she said that. That's why her listening age is what it is. So Sorry, JPC, I didn't mean to open up your thing doing that. So if you look at how this all plays out, Google closes the market. Okay. So they go, here is what everyone's searching for. Early. They weren't supposed to. It was supposed to be later. But again, because Spotify went, they did this. So they closed it. Thus, all the markets on Polymarket close, and whoever is correct gets paid. Well, that guy who works at Google knows that's happening. So he goes and dumps a ton of money into these markets right at the last second because he knows it's the 12th hour. And so then Google closes it, and then bam, he gets paid, only to have Google then realize, wait, it's too early, and they reopen the market, but that's too late because it's already been closed for Polymarket. He was right 22 of 23 times. That's not by coincidence. That is not by happenstance. That is playing with the deck stacked in your favor every single time. So you know this is someone with inside information. But since it's not illegal to do this, we're into a whole new world. We are into and again, these are not the bookmakers' problems, but smart people are going to figure this out. And smart people are going to take these guys, Polymarket, Kalshi, there's houses here. Okay. This is not betting peer to peer. These are market makers. You're betting against the house on a lot of level on this. Okay. Each one of these markets, each one of these prediction markets, that they're all being done in different ways. And so this is the wild, wild west all over again with sports gambling. This is going to be so wild. Yeah, he just got lucky. Yeah, 22. Sure. 22 or 23 times. Just got lucky. Just happened to be in the right place at the right time. Watch this story. Someone's going to be on Capitol Hill answering this story. I am a 100% believer that somebody is going to be having to answer for this, that someone is going to be under oath having to explain how these things went down. Favorite thing about today is this is a good one. I like my favorite thing. All right, favorite thing about today. I love schools and players that just make sense to each other. Did you guys see what Diego Pavia and Vanderbilt, what they're out saying publicly right now? This is unbelievable. So Vanderbilt's trying to justify their place in the college football playoff. They're trying to say that we belong. They have challenged anyone to play this weekend as a showcase for the college football playoff. They have literally said, Vanderbilt is out publicly saying right now, you want to play football this weekend? We will play you right now. Tell us when and where. Let's go and play, because we're not playing in a championship game, but we're trying to show everyone that we belong. So I don't care when, where, how, you tell us where. Team, university, athletic department, coaching staff, players, they are all in lockstep. This is not a joke. This is real. Vanderbilt wants to play anyone this weekend. Could you imagine if Vanderbilt had a chance to play this coming weekend against, I don't know, Notre Dame? Wouldn't it be unbelievable if Vandy would play Notre Dame this weekend? I mean, that would be unbelievable if that were to happen. Miami and Vanderbilt equally would be unbelievable if it were to happen. Those teams aren't playing. It would be the ultimate risk for Miami to take that game, right? If you lose that game, you're out. 100% you're out. If Notre Dame loses that game, you are out. It only really benefits Vanderbilt. And that, I think, is a really big question, right? That's a really big issue. But 100% Miami or Notre Dame. Really, it should be Miami because of the odds we talked about yesterday about Notre Dame being such a lock to make the playoffs. that if Miami were to go and whip Vandy, they could justify it to get in. The committee is not going to take this well, in my opinion. But I love this. Like, I don't just love this. I love this. That Vanderbilt is this type of university, that this is what they're going to do. This is how they're going to do it. They're going to make people understand that we will play anybody at any place at any time on short notice. We are here because Diego Pavia is not playing next year again. So you got to try to figure out how to make a run with this, right? And it could help Diego Pavia from a Heisman Trophy perspective too. The voting for the Heisman Trophy doesn't end until Monday. So we could help him in that as well. It's not going to happen, but I would love it if it were to happen. I really would. I would absolutely love it. Favorite thing about today, Vanderbilt University. Awesome. Like standing ovation. Awesome by Vanderbilt for what you guys are doing. My thanks to Adam Bjorn for jumping on in and our friends at BetChris Arizona. Thank you for being a part of it. Oh, sorry. I was putting up the wrong. That was wrong. I'm from BetChris Arizona. Thank you for being a part of the program today, for sponsoring Thursdays. We're back tomorrow on a Fight Song Friday. We'll go over all the college football games. We'll see if somebody would take this, take Vanderbilt up for their option. I don't think they will. It's Thursday, but it would be unbelievable if somebody would take them up to play a football game like on Monday or something, to play a game before they come up with the final thing on Tuesday. It would be very, very cool to see it happen. It's not going to, but Fight Song Friday tomorrow. We'll go over all the big championship games and more. 1:00 Eastern time for a Friday's version of BvB.